So you have to ask yourself, is the money going to make my child's life worse or better? And in some situations, you need to control it beyond the grave. Welcome to How to Retire on Time, a show that answers your retirement questions. Say goodbye to the oversimplified advice that you've heard hundreds of times. This show is all about getting to the nitty gritty so that we can understand truth behind investments, products, and strategies. As always, this show is not financial advice. Do your research, but hey, enjoy the ride. Text your questions to 913-363-1234, and we'll feature them on the show. David, what do we got today?
Hey, Mike, I'm concerned that my estate will ruin my kids as they are not very good with money. What should I do?
Yeah, this is a very real problem. So in estate planning, not even in estate planning, general human behavior, your behavior is one of the best predictors of how you will manage money. And getting more money doesn't change behavior. It just amplifies that behavior.
Okay.
So if your behavior is to spend all of your money, if you got a large lump sum of money, you will probably just spend it faster and then you'll be worse off later on. So you have to ask yourself, is the money going to make my child's life worse or better? And in some situations, you need to control it beyond the grave. So there was when the NFL was doing this big settlement thing years ago, do you remember that? Will Smith had that movie about concussion and
the CTE.
Yeah. So there's going to be a large settlement. Had a lot of NFL players that were contacting us saying, hey, we want to plan. We don't want to ruin this opportunity. Like, we're broke, but now we can actually, live a better life. I said, great. We talk about it. They say, all right, let's say you're going to receive $500,000. He says, great. Let's plan with $300,000. I said, why? Because I know I'm going to blow $200,000. They just had this behavior of spending so much money that they knew they were going to do that.
Okay.
It's a behavioral problem. If you want to look up the lottery effect is why people who typically buy lottery tickets are just hoping that they can be the exception to the rule,
Right.
that they can get out of their financial issues early, but most of them end up worse off later on because they don't know how to just save. And if you're spending more than you're making, you're in trouble. So let me say it a little bit differently just for a second.
Okay.
When someone inherits a significant amount of money for retirement and they haven't saved much for their retirement, I tell them to lock up some of the assets into a guaranteed income for life annuity. Now, that is against my investment philosophy. But the reason why is because too many times I've seen this over and over play out, and people say, "Oh, I won't do it. Oh, I've learned my lesson." No, you haven't. That's not how it works. They will say, well, we need a little bit more money here. They need a little bit more money there. Then they overspend it. There's lifestyle creep. They want to live their best life. And then within a couple of years, they've spent through it all. But if you lock up the funds into an income stream for life, they can spend as much as they want each year. And next year, it replenishes. It forces a behavioral structure that helps them get through retirement. Do you see how the restriction is actually the liberation for those who have not saved, received a large inheritance, and now restricts them from spending too much too fast? And you don't put everything into an annuity. You don't ever put everything into anything, okay?
Sure.
But you figure out how much they need, and you restrict them so they can't overspend. And then you've got some extra. They can go buy the car they can't afford. You can go do that vacation that they probably shouldn't be taking. They're going to do it anyway. And then you have some extra for healthcare costs and things like that. You still want a holistic plan. Now take the same concept for your kids. If you're going to give them a large inheritance, maybe you put into the trust that they have payments. So they get the first payment right away and you expect they're going to blow through it. The next payment, they're going to blow through it, but not as bad. Maybe there's a third payment. But do you see how you're kind of doing the annuity bit, but on your terms, to where you're giving them payments on certain times of their threshold? That's a great way to try and help them learn from their mistakes. There's no guarantee they will, but at least you can help them try to learn from their mistakes, and kind of control it beyond the grave. It's very important to have these conversations. Don't expect to give someone more money that's going to fix any problems. People typically don't change. behavior is the key indicator for what their result will be. And you can't fix people. So keep that in mind, especially when it comes to the estate planning, when it comes to all the different things that could play a factor. And maybe you're wrong. Maybe they do change. But odds are they won't. And that's just the unfortunate truth about it all. So make sure that you set your kids up for success and not to make them worse off overall. Look up the lottery effect to dive into those details. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Make sure that you like and subscribe first, and then go to www.retireontime.com to grab a copy of my book, How to Retire on Time, take a few courses about retirement, join my newsletter, and so much more. Now, if you want to work with one of our advisors here at Kedrick Wealth, who can help you put together a retirement plan that's designed to last longer than you, just click the button, Get Started. Everything we do is intended to help you retire on time. We hope you enjoy, and we'll see you in the next show.